Welcome back to another episode of Psycosmos. I'm answering questions. This one comes from James LCCAS. Thanks for the invitation. Have you checked into the UCSB Special Collections Library Department for receiving a copy of Recovery of an Ancient Science by Dr. Isidora Perry? Also, have you listened to Dr. David Jubb touching on the sacred secretion in the time-stamped video I linked in a comment, blah, blah, blah. Looking forward to an update. So I've not checked out the video yet. I definitely need to do that, but I really want to hone in on the Recovery of an Ancient Science by Dr. Isidora Perry. This is kind of like a call for help. I have called them. I've contacted them multiple times. I've tried to get in touch with the UCSB, which is the university. It's a university out in Southern California, I'm pretty sure. I think it's USCB. I don't remember exactly what it is. But yes, I have tried contacting them. If anybody knows a way to get Recovery of an Ancient Science by Dr. Isidora Perry, that would be really appreciated. I would really appreciate that. Thank you. I'm going to go and do some of the rest of these comments just in this video. Because there's a lot of similar ones, so a lot of these have to do with sacred secretion. I'm interested in knowing more about how to raise the sacred secretion while simultaneously dealing with the dark night of the soul. What food and substances need to be avoided during the week of the sacred secretion? To do sacred secretion, do I need to know my exact time, place, and birth, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to answer some of these right now. The first one is, to do the sacred secretion, do I need to know my exact time, place, and date of birth? No, you really just need to know what your sun sign is. That's the easiest time. Now, if you want, we do natal chart readings, and then we can actually give you a more accurate, specific reading of when the peak of the sacred secretion process will be. We do that, so look into our website for more information. What food and substances need to be avoided during the week of the sacred secretion? Lots. I would say that your best bet is to eat fruits, raw or cooked vegetables. Don't overconsume raw vegetables because it can be bad for your gut health. And nuts. That's pretty much what I stick to. That's just me. I'm just sharing what works in my own paradigm. I know some people who eat meat during the sacred secretion, they stand by it. So, I mean, it really just depends. Everybody has a different experience. But also make sure that you're not conflating sacred secretion with Kundalini awakenings. Kundalini is more of a solar-related electrical-based process. That is not the sacred secretion. Sacred secretion is a very subtle. It's tracked by the moon. The moon is subtle. You don't feel the moon. It's not hyperactivating. You can feel aspects of the sacred secretion, but it's not the same thing as a Kundalini awakening. And anybody who says otherwise doesn't know what they're talking about. Let's see what else. Knowing more about how to raise the sacred secretion while simultaneously dealing with the dark night of the soul. It's difficult to keep a positive mindset. Your dark night of the soul includes the sacred secretion. If you're discovering and you're working through the sacred secretion during a dark night of the soul, that means that you were meant to unlock this potential during a very dark moment in your life. The way that you do this, I would look into Carl Jung's shadow work. There's clearly some things that are going on in your psyche that you are blocking yourself from understanding and learning from a deeper fundamental level. Highly advise that you go and do the internal shadow work so that you can come face to face with the darker parts of yourself and find that internal semblance of peace before you continue the sacred secretion process. And again, this is a PSA for everybody, because I get so many sacred secretion related comments. Why, if we have so many geniuses who own sacred secretion websites and courses and books and all this other nonsense, why are there still so many questions, and why are there still so many people who don't know how to do this? I work on a one-on-one individual basis in my life coaching program so that you can understand when your sacred secretion cycle happens and how to activate it. And if you still have a lot of mental or spiritual or soul related issues, you should not be practicing sacred secretion. I'm going to repeat that again. If you are still going through darkness in your life, you should not be worrying too much about sacred secretion. The sacred secretion process is something that is a healing autonomic process. It's going to happen regardless. If you are trying to do Kundalini awakenings during your sacred secretion process, which is what all these fake gurus and teachers who have absolutely no idea what they're talking about, if you are going to go and do that, then you're going to do damage to yourself. You're going to be, you still have blockages, you're activating your neurological body, and your neurological body cannot break through or heal those blockages because they're blockages. So your healing body literally is blocked, and you have to unblock that stuff first so you can create a superhighway. Think of it like this, okay? When you're trying to activate sacred secretion, the light that is going throughout your entire body and is activating and moving these chemicals along, it's like a car. All right, so you're using a car, and if you get really good at it, you can actually feel that vehicle traveling in your body, and you can control it. Now, what happens if there's a huge, massive traffic jam and you're trying to go 75 miles an hour right into that traffic jam? Your car is going to die. It's going to explode. There's going to be absolutely no way that light is going to be able to reach your brain, your lower sacral coccyx, your central solar plexus, your heart. There's going to be blockages there, and if there's blockages, then you need to work on those blockages first. It's called a stairway to heaven or a ladder to heaven. For a reason. It's step by step. Everybody wants to jump the gun, and they want to go through with this process, and that's well and fine and dandy, but really what you guys are doing is you're getting tricked by people who just want to sell you courses and materials and books. We work in a one-on-one fundamental basis. I have plenty of people who have, you can go and you can look through my videos, you can go and you can look on all of our social media platforms, you can find the people on our links that talk about how much we have changed their life by working with them in a one-on-one setting, because you cannot just give general advice about the sacred secretion. You can't give general advice about anything. I'm a life coach. I do this for a living. I can't just tell people, hey, eat this way, do this, do that. It doesn't work that way. Everybody's different. Everybody has a different activation program. So if you guys are interested in working with us, let us know. We have plenty of spots open for Coach Richard and Coach Tyler. I'm going to answer some more of these questions here. Maybe more info on the Maharishi effect or placebo effect or deja vu, some newer age terms explained. Yeah, I mean, they're kind of newer age, I guess you could say, if you want to call newer age like last 150 years. I mean, Maharishi effect and placebo effect are different. Maharishi is when you have people playing into an egregorical ideal, and the consciousness of their energy shifts to a point where it starts to infect people that are in their local surroundings. And then obviously on a worldwide scale that would impact. So Maharishi effect, what you can do is if everybody started meditating or if everybody started having more positive thoughts, it's going to raise the vibrational frequency of the people around them. Placebo effect is more of an individualized thing. So Maharishi effect is more, I guess, if you wanted to think of it as a placebo, it's kind of like a societal placebo, but then again, I mean, that was kind of also COVID too. So, and then deja vu, that's another really different thing. Deja vu is different in the sense that it is, I mean, I've seen plenty of people talk about this. Some people think that it's tapping into like a multi-dimensional timeline where you accomplished something already, or you're gazing into the future, or you're looking into the past, or something along those lines. It's possible. I think deja vu is more of a imaginative way that our brain constructs situations and outcomes based off of previous interpretations or memories that we have. So it's like you go through something similar, and then your brain is going through something and says, oh wow, this is really similar, and then it kind of kerfuddles it into being a similar memory to something that you've already experienced, or maybe even something that you've dreamed of. I've had deja vu of stuff that's happened to me in dreams. So I'll dream something similar, not the same thing, but similar, and then I'll go through it in real life like maybe a day or a week later, and I'm like, oh wow, I remember, I think I had a dream about this. That happens to me sometimes. So I think that it's just the brain trying to make connections that aren't necessarily there, or maybe it's that your brain is tapping into some wormhole. I don't know. There are people that have a lot of different opinions on that. How to meditate, that's going to be the last question that I see here on this list. How to meditate, I mean, close your eyes, bruh. Just close your eyes. It's meditation is different. There's tons of different types of meditation. You have to go and do the research and find your style. Some people claim, I can't meditate, I can't turn off my brain. Who said that? Who said that meditation exclusively was shutting your brain off? I mean, that's kind of hard to do. I can do it because I've played around with this energy in this body for a while now. But that's not every experience of meditation. Not every meditative experience is just shutting off the brain. Sometimes it's shutting off the emotions. Sometimes it's shutting off the lower parts of the body, like the stomach and the genitals. Depends. What are you trying to do? I would look into it. And then, I mean, if you're, I think what you're really asking is, how do I focus specifically on parts of different forms of meditation? Transcendental meditation, Akashic meditation. There's like a bunch of different types. My recommendation is get to know your light body, get to know your neurological system. If you can start by maybe exercise, in the moment of exercise or in the moment of doing something, if you can feel that energy from your brain go down into your arm or your leg or something along those lines, then you can start to harmonize with the energy in the body, and then you can control it better. That would be my recommendation. So once again, my name is Coach Matt. I am a certified master spiritual professional life coach. I love every single one of you guys. Go check out our website. You can go get a bunch of free content, and you can also download some of our ebooks that we have for purchase. We are working on an audio book as well for our books, and I'm trying to think what else. We have some courses. We have some esoteric lecture series that are coming up. So if any of that interests you, go check it out. Otherwise, my name is Matt, and I love you very much. Take care, guys.